Never mind. I'll tell you after. Let me see. Okay. Whoa. Hold on a second. Hmm. Let me check something. Let me see if something is doing what it's supposed to. That's always the question. Is it doing what it's supposed to? Hmm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Q, how are we on Twitter? Is Twitter up yet?
Twitter is not up. Yep, it is now.
Interesting. Okay, here we go. Give me a 5 second countdown of five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Up Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, obviously, the big topic of discussion is going to be the official visits for this weekend for the 2026 class. And obviously, that is a huge topic of discussion, and we will get to that. Before we get to all that, though, Q, we have to celebrate the softball team and what some awards that they brought home, the hardware that they brought home on the other side of things. Another thing, CMB is not returning to South Carolina. We will talk about what that means. And EA College Football 26 has dropped. And, well, the trailer has dropped, excuse me. And guess what? The trailer on this thing looks tremendous. Some things have already been confirmed, and we're excited to talk about that more. So, Q, let's go ahead and let's dive into this episode. Let's start right at the softball field. And Q, Ashley Chastain Woodard, no surprise, wins National Coach of the Year from D1 softball. How about that, man? Like, is there anybody more deserving in softball, college softball? I don't think so.
Picked last, ended up literally 1 out away from playing in Oklahoma. Yeah, man, deserving is an understatement. Honestly, it's definitely an understatement. Extremely proud of her, what she's able to do, what she's been able to accomplish. It's been tremendous. Words cannot express how thankful I am that we got to witness it this year, and I know big things are on the horizon for her and for this program. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't even lie to you. I'm looking extremely forward to it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was a tremendous season. I mean, you can't fathom being picked last in the SEC and doing what she did this year. I mean, it was just
Literally.
tremendous in year one. I mean, after everything that South Carolina has gone through over the last, 10 or 15 years with under, the previous regime, it's like nobody saw that coming. I mean, and if you did, I mean, I hate to call
You're
you out
lying.
on that. Yeah,
You're
I mean,
lying.
or you truly are the ultimate sunshine pumper, and there's everything about you as Gamecock, and I could say if anybody saw that coming, it might have been Sam. It might have been Sam that
Sam
saw
definitely
that coming.
probably did.
Yeah,
But
Sam
Sam see
probably
that for
did.
every program, so you got to
This is
give
true.
Sam gets his due. But
I
I was
Yeah.
proud of Ashley. I mean, well deserved. Should have been SEC Coach of the Year for keeping it a buck 50. Don't know
Hmm.
why that didn't happen, but well, I do know why.
Mm.
But it is what it is. Now she's back to the grind. You can tell she's back on the grind, trying to repeat it. Because coming into the season, I was hoping we just get the postseason. Let's see what she can do. But my God, she exceeded expectations, and it wasn't even funny. Like, she took expectations and she was like, "Nah, I got something else." So I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good to see.
There's a difference between exceeding expectations and what she did. And my goodness, I mean, she blew it out the water. Just an insane year one. And then on top of that, Ariana Rhodey. Ariana Rhodey wins the Gold Glove for college women's softball. So, congratulations to her at her respective position and what she had the season that she had, the record-breaking season, the record-setting season. And look, man, we got to get another season of her. So, I mean, that's phenomenal.
That's
Yeah.
big. That's big, man. That's big. Someone put that out there like, hey, we should invest a little more in softball. And I think they will. From what I've heard, they plan to in the first place anyways. But I think it's going to be a good investment. To me, you put your money where people who value your program are. So I would 100% back that. I can't wait to get to a game. I definitely plan to get down there next year for sure and watch a series. Because man, that was some good ball play this year. I was thoroughly impressed. And it wasn't just like they won here, got lucky there. No, they were pretty consistent over the year. Like that was some consistent ball play, and I was very, very happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. And you're starting to see these other sports that haven't had success in a while. And I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a trend, honestly. You know, Tanani made a new hire with the volleyball coach, right? The beach volleyball. So we'll see what ultimately happens with that. And something that hadn't been talked about too much, Bam, but my guy Tony Annan over at Stone Stadium is having a quiet but very successful offseason. And we're going to talk about that in an episode coming up as we get closer to that time when soccer kicks off. But I tell you, man, like Tony has had a really good, strong offseason, and I really hope it pans out for him. It pans out for him.
So I'm not shocked at all.
I'm not either. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens moving forward. Q, let's go ahead. We'll talk about CMB. You know, the decision, the clock hit midnight last night. A lot of us, stayed up for that to see if the decision would come. And obviously, most of us knew at that point when we saw all these returners, right, in college basketball, that draft stock continued to climb. That's the thing about it. When you saw these other guys say, hey, I'm returning to Auburn or Florida and all these other ones, it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, because that only means one thing. That draft stock is climbing, and now, Q, there was talks that he could be a lottery pick. Now there is talks that he's probably going to be a lottery pick at this point. And South Carolina is going to have the highest draft pick in NBA history for South Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. He's about to be the highest one. I have mixed emotions about it. I genuinely have mixed emotions. I think that's a fair way to put it. I really wanted one more year of CMB, especially after the year he had this year. I really wanted one more year. I felt like a year where he showed a consistent jump shot would literally propel him to where he needs to be. Mm-hmm. I genuinely believe that without a shadow of a doubt, wholeheartedly, one more year, showing a consistent jump shot, top 5. Now, with that being said, or my favorite quote, however, comma, with the people who fell out of the draft and decided to come back to school, I mean, you can't pass that up, bro. You can't pass up where because you were pretty much a 15 to 20, and right now you're looking like 6 to 14. And so you're going to get a good payday. And I want y'all to understand, CMB's completely prepared. He is a great defensive player. He's a great rebounder. He's got a vertical. Like, he's going to make plays. He just needs to work on his jump shot while he's in the league. That needs to be something he does, is he works on that jump shot and gets consistent and better. And I hope, and I hope Collins, CMB's listening to this, I genuinely hope you give back. I hope you get up there and you give back, because we're going to need all the help we can get. So you getting to that status, you and Gigi talk, partner up, and help Lamont build this thing, man. It's going to take your help. So that's my big thing to him. My calling card is you're going to have to help Lamont build this thing, and you guys have got to come back and help.
Yeah, and CMB seeing how this whole NIL thing goes, right? And he's the only one, realistically, besides Gigi, of course, that has seen this has gone through the waters of this, that are in the NBA now. I mean, PJ Dozier, guys like that. I mean, they didn't see that, right? AJ Lawson, right? They didn't really get experience that. So, Gigi and Colin, I mean, they can set the standard here, especially Colin. I mean, Colin is about to be, he's about to be, really up there in the money department here soon. So,
Correct.
Congratulations to him. For one, like I said, you're making history at the University of South Carolina. Your time wasn't, you didn't spend a whole lot of time here, obviously, but the time that you did was successful, obviously, and you were part of the reasons why South Carolina went to the NCAA tournament last year. It's simply put, it's not Colin's fault that this team had injuries, right? It's not Colin's fault that the NIL wasn't where it needed to be at South Carolina. None of that is Colin's fault. And some of that needs to be remembered because people are going to like, well, Colin didn't do this. He didn't do that. That's not his fault. Colin was the guy that he left it all on the floor too, man. That's a guy that was hurt and he was still playing. Very Connor Shaw-esque when it's all said and done with the stuff that he was doing on the court this year.
Almost beat Arkansas by himself in the SEC tournament. On one leg, man. The man was hurt.
Yeah,
he was hurt.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And he was giving Janai Broom. I mean, he was giving him fits, man, when we played them.
Yeah, I just think, like I said, this team was. He needed more around him, and he didn't have it, and it's okay. I think in the right system, the right fit at the next level, he's going to carve out a solid role, and I think he can get that longevity in the NBA if he finds his role, finds his niche, and he excels at it.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. I think he's going to. One of the sweet spots that he's looking at right now, maybe the Chicago Bulls are kind of looking at him right in that range. So that's one of the teams that, I mean, realistically, he could go there. I mean, I would not be surprised. So
correct.
It's going to be interesting, man. We're not too far for the NBA draft. So, when that time comes, obviously we'll celebrate and, things of that nature wherever he goes. But congratulations to Colin and, his future here soon. So, great.
I'm thinking Lamont and him going to be at the draft. I think
I
Colin's
believe so.
Be at the draft, and I think Lamont's going to be there with him too. So that'll be really good, and it's good for the state, good for the city, man. Kid from Columbia getting top 10 draft pick, man. It's going to be huge, man. It's going to be huge. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and
that draft what, in June, about late June, ain't it?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking for that, and I'm looking for the summer league. I am intrigued to see how he plays in the summer league.
And that's the summer league is where a lot of Gamecocks have had success, man. A lot of Gamecocks have had success in the summer leagues and have moved up, out there.
So I'm intrigued to see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, same, man. It's actually June 25th through the 26th is the 2025 NBA draft. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Q, speaking of fun, let's go ahead and we'll talk about EA College Football 26. The game trailer dropped today. And some Easter eggs have dropped as well. And some of the big Easter eggs for South Carolina, it's good news, and that's what the fans want to hear. Obviously, last year, South Carolina lacked thereof the Sandstorm towels, but being white instead, they were black. They had them in the game, but they were black, and you couldn't tell because, well, I mean, the fans were wearing either black or garnet. You couldn't really ever tell. It looked terrible in the game, by the way. Like, I don't understand why you couldn't fix that, right? I don't understand why in an update you couldn't fix that. It just didn't make any sense to me because look, it looked bad.
It looked terrible.
It looked terrible. But anyways, the Sandstorm towels are going to be white. And then Andy Staples from On3, he confirmed today that 2001 will be in the game this year. So the intro should be where it's supposed to be now. So if that doesn't get you excited.
I can't wait to see it.
If that doesn't get you excited, and we all know we've seen the screenshot for Cocky on top of on the train, so we know that's going to be a part of it, right? So that brings me to my next thing. Maybe that random pizza vendor right there that was in the Wayside Tunnel on that side of things. Like, I don't understand why they put that there. Like, you're like, hey, we just have empty space. Let's put a pizza vendor here or whatever it was, even though nobody can access it. Yeah, there's no access to it, right? But let's put that right there on the wayside, right there on the next to the field. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't have words for it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got no words for it. I personally ain't got no words for it. That's just me personally. It's terrible.
I thought that was the wildest thing. I remember when, all of us played when it dropped. Everybody took, PTO. We took the day off for it. Everybody did. And we were all like, what is this? Like, what is this thing in the title? Like, what is this?
I've been saying
what are we doing?
It's ridiculous, bro. Ask me.
Some other great things from it though, man, is like the light shows are going to be in it. And, in this screenshot from of Cocky, you can tell that there is garnet in the background, garnet light shining down. So South Carolina's night atmosphere seems to be a night atmosphere. But I will tell you what, and I don't know if it's been added to it or not, you need to have it where you can choose when that game is played. Because this whole randomizing, you might get a night game, you might not, that's garbage, man. Like, you need to have the times, you need to have the weather, like, you need to be able to control all of that in a game, during Dynasty.
I agree.
So hopefully that's a part of it. I truly hope that's a part of it because it was whack, man. Like, I would get one night game out of the year if I was lucky.
I don't even remember if I've had one. No, maybe like a couple, but never when I needed them. When I needed them.
No.
And they're going to have decommits now.
Yes.
Now that's going to be cool.
Yeah. That's
going to be cool.
It's interesting, to give a full rundown of some of the other stuff that doesn't really involve South Carolina, just, to a certain extent. Obviously, they added the intro to Virginia Tech, and they've added Intro to Sandman. So now you'll be able to listen to that, which I love that entrance, and I cannot wait till South Carolina plays Virginia Tech on the road. And I already said I'm going to be there, man. Like, I wouldn't want to miss that for the world. But being with these new schedules coming out, who knows if South Carolina is going to keep that schedule and be able to play at Virginia Tech if the SEC goes to 9 games, which is unfortunately a possibility, right? But some of the stuff that they're adding, the hat ceremony, right, during the recruitment, they have the old hats. You can take the hats out, and they're telling if they're going to throw them around or what. If they fake it and then they pump fake it, and throw it out. Who knows what's going to happen?
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
That would be funny. Like, if they had to give you an option, like, hey, do you want to fake this hat? Do you want to throw this hat and then like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good game.
That'd be good. And then Road to Glory starts in high school this year. It's back.
About time, bro. Can't wait to do that one.
Yeah,
because I didn't play it at all this year.
I did, and I didn't. It wasn't the same. It really wasn't. For one, you can only play a few positions. You can be linebacker, quarterback, or wide receiver. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there was any other ones you could have been this past year. So being able to hopefully play in the secondary again, I like to, or running back too, of course. But being able to be a defensive lineman, that was fun. Being able to be Jadeveon Clowney, right, in NCAA 13 or 14, that was fun.
Yeah,
but true. Those things, you weren't able to do in the last one. Decommits. I mean, that's a big thing, man. That's
gonna be huge, bro. That decommit thing is gonna be huge because thinking online dynasties, when you start taking some of your friends' people, I think it's gonna be the fun part.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the fun part.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. This new transfer portal is supposed to be different. They're adding a new version to the transfer portal, which it's interesting. Last time it was really basic when it was all said and done on the last transfer portal, but the new one, I guess, what they're trying to add, and real coaches, that's fun. Having real coaches, having Shane Beamer, not having crazy ones that
has he agreed to be in it? Because I know I hadn't seen his up, but maybe he has. I don't know. They haven't
I haven't seen it, but I would doubt that Shane Beamer's like, no, you cannot put me in EA College Football 26. Yeah. That's not happening.
I just do that, yeah. Even that's even
yeah. That's and he'd probably be one of the last ones to say, hey, yeah, sure, I'll be in it. So
yeah.
No, that's fun. And obviously Dylan Stewart is on the cover of the deluxe version. And, there's been some content that has come out over the last couple of days of Dylan Stewart out there in Pasadena when they shot it out there, over there, the old stadium. So really cool stuff there, man. And obviously Dylan, I'm sure, has a nice payday being on that cover, I'm sure. So, but he deserves, congratulations to him. Although I would probably put Lenore Sellers over Lagway and some of those other quarterbacks on that cover, but
definitely over Underwood. I feel like Underwood is
just
not deserving of being on that cover. But
it's the logo. It's the logo. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think one of the creators is a Michigan alum.
That would surprise me.
So yeah, makes sense.
That would surprise me to the least. Nah, that would not surprise me. Keith, let's go ahead. We're going to take it to the OVs, but before we do that, is something I want to talk about real quick. The 5-star edge, Richard Wesley, and I know you saw this. He committed to Oregon, right? And Dan Lanning and Wesley, they jumped in this pool right after he committed to Oregon. Well, a week and a half later, 2 weeks go by, and hey, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's reverse that. And he decommits from Oregon. After all that, after the show in this pool, probably out there by Oregon or something like that, and he just decommits. Just decommits. He said he's out.
Name of the game, bro. That's the name of the game now. That's why everything is so up in the air. That's why I don't understand why people believe these Fong bombs and all this other stuff. It's really not even worth it because no one really knows what's going on. Like you change the thing for what? Like there's nothing behind it. That's always my thing. You have to, like when Fong put his prediction in for Dylan Stewart to Ohio State, after Dylan had already reached double-digit visits to South Carolina, that shows you how in denial he is about certain things, because he didn't switch his prediction to South Carolina until literally like right before Dylan announced.
Correct.
Like it wasn't even, I want to say it was like 30, wasn't it 30 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, it was the same day, same hour.
It was the same within the hour of it. Yeah. And I think that speaks volumes, in my personal opinion, to these guys really don't know what's going on. Like they don't know what's going on. Like I'll take Baker for example. Baker visits June 20th. We are one of the only officials he still has on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how it plays out. He's already done his official to Florida. He's supposed to be going to FSU. He's supposed to come here. So, we'll see. Well, I'm not saying that like it's wrong, but what I'm saying is like he flipped that. That was an instantaneous flip.
Well, yeah, and then Ohio State. I mean, he just put that CB for Ohio State a month ago for Carson Baker to go to Ohio State,
and then Carson, he's like
he canceled his OV.
He cancels OV. Like same thing. These kids are canceling OVs. Samari just canceled his OV to Clemson to go to Miami.
Yeah.
Man, you never know what these kids are going to do, man.
No, you obviously
can throw them out if you want
don't.
to. That would, it wouldn't. I would say this: it ain't in the best interest if you just throw stuff like that out there. That's why you don't see us doing that. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not, because here's the thing: whether people want to like it or not, we have intel, right? We know people in the business. We know people around these schools, right? I mean, take Carter Meadows for example. We'll talk about him in a few. My connections to the DMV are insane. Okay, I mean it's the same thing that with Nick Harbor. I never wavered on Nick Harbor. Did I? Q?
You're right.
Never. Same thing with D. Stu. Same thing with D. Stu. The podcast episode is out there, and I said Dylan Stewart's going to South Carolina, and this is after the crystal ball to Ohio State and all the other BS. I'm just saying. So you can believe what you want. I think it's wild.
No, I say that.
Yeah.
I told y'all believe what you want.
Men lie, women lie, facts don't, right?
Facts don't, bro. I told y'all a bunch of times. A lot of guys that was not wavering, not moving, bro. I told y'all about Shed Surratt. People was like, he's going to Colorado because of Dion. Yeah. Like you guys want to overreact. Now the biggest thing for you guys is we don't have the NIL. When it's been hilarious to see that and hear that when NIL has not been a problem for South Carolina football yet. Like I've yet to see NIL play a factor in us not being able to get a kid.
No,
genuinely.
No.
Like
now
there's overpaying. That's the difference between not having the money and just not refusing to overpay. We're not going to overpay people. That's not going to happen. And I stand 10 toes with Shane on that. What am I going to overpay you for when you could literally jump in the portal and leave that same year. After you get your check, you can leave. And I do want to address what Kirby said too. Was Kirby lame for saying that? Absolutely, Kirby. That was snitching. You lame for that. I ain't gonna hold you. However, Kirby did bring up a valid point when it came to these kids getting paid before ending their decommitting. Schools want. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know this now. Schools do want their money back when these kids decommit if they've already paid these kids up front to commit. They do want the money back. They can't get it back though if the kid didn't want to give it back.
Yeah,
because there's no contract signed at that point. I just want y'all to understand that there's no contract. There's no contractual obligation for a commitment. You can put the contract in place when it's time to sign, but as far as before that, there's no contractual obligation. So if Oregon paid that kid $20K to commit and then he decommitted, Oregon's out of $20K. They are.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to your business moves as a university. I mean, you're set yourself up for failure, right? It's not the kid.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean, that's the way it is. It's simple. I mean, those are the facts. Like,
that's a fact. So you got to make these maneuvers, and I believe JD mentioned that real big on the Paul Feinbaum show. Like, these agents are taking advantage of these kids. So you need to have a system in place where you can have qualified agents to be around these children, because they are children. That some of these guys are children. Some of them are 17 years old when they're making these moves, making these deals.
Oh, absolutely.
So you got to have trusted people around them. I got to give Nick Harbor's family really big credit. They had the right people around Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give Dylan Stewart family credit. They have the right people around Dylan. I got to give Nick Harbor's family credit. They had the right people around them because these are guys that commanded a lot and they have the proper people. And you also got to understand, Texas A&M has shown you, which I think is still crazy that people keep forgetting that. Texas A&M showed you can pay for whatever you want to pay for. It doesn't mean it's going to be successful.
Big facts.
Because they paid for a whole number one recruiting class and it was not successful. Majority of those guys, if not all of them, transferred. Maybe one or two stayed. So you got to think, out of a 25, 26-man class, 2 people staying is one of the most outrageous misses ever. And with Shane, when people leave the program, if you notice, people leave the program genuinely for playing time because they could not carve out a role here. And that's been the majority consensus. And if you look at when people have transferred, have they really been more productive than where they were here?
That's right.
So I don't disagree that, there's differences here, differences there. Shout out to my people. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? So that in all actuality, in my personal opinion, that becomes a thing that we have to talk about because Shane's culture is there. That's why kids are buying into it. That's why a lot of kids want to be here. So yeah.
It is a Q. Here's my other thing too. The people the players that have left South Carolina that have hit the portal. I mean, for one, obviously, Wells, right? Good Lord, right? You want an example and the prime example to listen to. Maybe your coaches, right? Maybe the coaches, maybe, right? Or you can end up like his situation and become wide receiver 4 at that point. Not get drafted, right?
They won't make a roster, man. That's
Mario Anderson, same thing. NIL wise, look, I kind of understand Mario's situation a little bit. It's a little different, but he's playing football in Canada now. Just saying.
Marshawn Lloyd.
Lloyd, he's in for it, man. He's had a rough go to the NFL career already. I think he's had the most injuries yet.
Is the grass ain't always green. You'll find out the hard way if you have to. So yeah, take a break though.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go ahead and take this break, and we'll be right back. Cool. Let's give it a 5 second countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Q, the grass isn't always greener. That's right. And, if it is, it's probably turf. And you don't want to play on that surface anyways, or you're going to wind up in a pretty bad position. So, Q, let's go ahead and we'll talk about these OVs, man, for this weekend for 2026. And obviously, there are some big names on these lists, Q. I mean, a lot of big names. Obviously, Carter Meadows, we talked about him earlier. He's having his OV at South Carolina, a guy from the DMV, from the DC area, has a great relationship with Dylan Stewart. We've already talked about that. Dylan Stewart is doing a lot in this recruitment, right? We're doing a lot in this recruitment, and he likes South Carolina a lot. Yeah, he likes South Carolina a lot. He likes Sterling Lucas a lot. Sterling Lucas, again, being that guy, right?
He does.
Moving things out in the DMV area still, even though he doesn't coach up there anymore, Sterling Lucas. So what a job that he's done in South Carolina. But Q, obviously outside of Carter Meadows, go ahead and give us the names on who's all visiting this weekend in Columbia, South Carolina.
So what I'll do, guys, I'm going to go through the list first, and then I'm going to kind of break down where we are standing with each person. Of course, Carter Meadows, the headliner of the situation. Kari Adams is from Maryland as well. T. Gray special here. Kari's a unique individual, and when you're looking at the secondary class, if you want a 4-man class, your strongest pieces at this point would be if you're looking ranking wise. If you're looking at me, I always look at talent, but if you're going to go ranking wise, which I know a lot of people do, Kari, Samari, Currents, and Watkins would be elite of the elite when it comes to a class. So Kari Adams is here on official. PJ Dean will be here for an official. Travis Johnson. A lot of people don't know a lot about Travis Johnson. That's a unique. I can't express this enough. Unique recruitment, and we'll go over that here. Amari Thomas. Oh, I can't wait to dive deep into that one real quick. I can't wait to dive deep into that one. JB Shabazz, a very intriguing one there. JB Shabazz, a very intriguing one. We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into it. Keyshawn Johnson, the cornerback out of Birmingham, Alabama, very underrated. Very, 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 very underrated. Another T. Gray special. And, of course, our guy, Anthony Baxter, committed already. South Point, we've already crossed the T's. We've got our I's. He's just there enjoying his time. Criminally underrated, honestly. I don't care how anyone wants to put this. He's criminally underrated. He's one of the hardest working players I've seen. His tape doesn't lie. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him. But I'm going to let's dig a little bit. Let's do a little digging. So as you guys know, Carter Meadows, it's really going to come down to, does he want to play at South Carolina? It's genuinely going to come down to, does he want to play beside Dylan Stewart for a year? Does he want to take over Dylan Stewart's spot after Dylan leaves? That's where Carter Meadows has to get in there. You're going to have Dylan Stewart, who's going to host him. I am about 1,000% sure that's going to be his host is Dylan Stewart. But Nick Harbor's going to play a role in this. Tree Babalati is going to play a role in this. Desmond Umanzulu, who also could be his host as well, is going to play roles in this. Carter's going to get the attention he's looking for. But I think this is going to come down to how we're going to break down what Carter's going to mean for us at this point. Kari Adams. When I think of him, I think of the impact he can bring is very much Gilmore impact. A guy that could come in with the size and speed already and the tools ready to play corner year one. There's a really tough road in that. If I'm looking at people and I've talked to a few people, I think we're running about third. I would say third is probably a good way to put us. We're about there. We're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it. Having him on the first visit and without him actually going to another place like a Penn State first, maybe a Notre Dame first, I would have loved it. But, we have a chance to, set the tone. And if they can't reach the tone that we've set, it could help us in the long run.
True.
PJ Dean, that was rough. We're
Yeah.
third. Right now, I feel like we're third. We're behind Georgia and Ohio State. I don't know which one he'll choose out of them. We're third. Now, can we move up? I do believe we can. We have every opportunity to do that. I think PJ genuinely likes us because, one, we are close. We are very close to where he can see his family all the time, all those things. But got to let this stuff kind of play out. So PJ Dean's going to be an interesting one to watch. Travis Johnson. So he's very underrated wide receiver out of Virginia. And Johnson is very quiet. I think it's really a Big Ten battle. I think we're running third or fourth in this recruitment, but he is taking his official, so anything can happen while you're at an official. We do not have a wide receiver currently in the class, and I know we're looking at 1 to 2 from the high school ranks. And he does have the size we are looking for at 6'3". So I do think that's going to play a huge role. Amari Thomas, yes, I've been looking to get to this recruitment. Amari Thomas is currently committed to Florida State. If this visit goes well, we have a strong chance to flip him. A very strong chance to flip him. He is 5'10" and close to 200 pounds now. He is the prototypical running back you need and you can build around. Amari Thomas, I want him in our class. We have a strong opportunity to make that happen. A very strong one. So I would definitely 100% look out for Amari Thomas. I think that is one people need to keep their strong eye on. Let's see how this official visit goes. I think the only other one he has is to Florida State, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So this could really be interesting. A lot of the guys that were going after him are starting to fill up at running back, and we haven't. So I think we have a strong chance here. I think we do. Next up, JB Shabazz. So it's going to be hard to pull him out of North Carolina. I think he ends up staying in the state. I do think he ends up in a North Carolina or a NC State role. I can 100% see that. So I am intrigued by his. If our visit goes well enough, I think it will give him a lot to think about. Mm-hmm. And with him having a lot to think about, could bring him here. Because I think he is definitely the prototypical tackle. 6'6", 280 now, but he can definitely get to 300 easily, 310. And I think that would really help us. Keyshawn Johnson, it's all about it. Does he want to come this way? Or is he going to stay close to home and go to Mississippi school? Or is he going to come this way? Criminally underrated, 6'1", 170, literally has a body type to get to about 200. And he's going to shoot up these rankings. And I'm telling you that because I know he's going to have a strong season. He's going to shoot up these rankings. I want him bad. We're going to have to fight off Ole Miss. We're going to have to fight off Mississippi State. We're going to fight those Mississippi schools for him. But I want him bad. Now, he's in Birmingham. So if we're calling a spade, it's a straight shot. It's 4 hours, straight shot. You literally get on 285 to get to 20 and you're in Columbia. So I really hope we can land him. Now, there's a guy that's also going to be visiting that I want you to keep your guys' eye on. Amiri Aker out of Crescent High, Ava, South Carolina. A lot of y'all don't know where that's at. I know y'all don't. Let's not flex like y'all do. Y'all don't know where that's at. It's a country guy. Reminds me a lot of Xavier Legette. A lot like Xavier. Hard worker. Hustler. He's a guy you want on your squad. He's coming to earn an offer, and I pray we give it to him. I think he's ready. So he's just visiting. I think if we give the offer, he will be an official visitor, and I think we can pull that one off. That's your officials for now. I have one of those strong inkling feelings that that's not going to be all on official visitors. I feel like someone's going to sneak in there. Mm-hmm. I always have a strong feeling with that, especially when you're talking about big weekends and all those things. But if not this weekend, I can see that June 20th being a weekend where that happens as well. So let's start off strong. I can see us getting a couple guys out of this group. I think we can get a couple guys out of this group. Now, you have heavy hitters in all these recruitments. Every last one of these recruitments, you have heavy hitters.
Yep.
So you guys asked for Shane to play big boy ball. We're here. That's where we're at. We're playing big boy ball. So
yeah,
take with that as you will.
Yeah, Q. And that's just where you start. I mean, next week it's going to be even bigger, honestly. We'll obviously talk about that, but some of the headliners on that one, Aiden Harris, right? Landon Duckworth, of course, Zion, who's currently committed to South Carolina. I don't know if Ryan's going to make that visit or not. Ryan Mosley, who just committed to Georgia, we'll see.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I think Georgia pushed for that commitment because they're trying to shore up some things. And if he didn't commit, I think he would have been going somewhere else because I don't think he would have been in that Georgia class. So I think he really wanted to be in that Georgia class. So I don't think he takes the visit.
Yeah. Now Keenan Britt, he's going to be back on campus. He's committed to South Carolina already, and he already said, hey, that's it. I'm not going on any more visits. I'm going ahead and lock down my recruitment. So for those who don't know, Keenan Britt, that is KJ Britt's little brother. KJ Britt plays for the Buccaneers linebacker. So good stuff getting him into the fold, not having to worry about his recruitment. Hopefully, obviously kids are kids, but I don't foresee things changing with him. I think he's pretty solid. Obviously, we really got him because of Darren Usher. Really, that recruitment. Darren Usher had played a huge part there. So it's going to be a lot of stuff next week too. But Q, I mean, this weekend, it's big, man. I mean, you have so many 4-stars right there in general, if you care about that sort of thing, right? I mean, you've got 6 4-stars on this one, possibly 7, with Johnson, if he, moves up on that recruitment, obviously, and Amiri, the same thing. So it's a big weekend. It's a big weekend. I think Adams, for him, I mean, Stephon Gilmore, man, it's a heavy comparison, but I don't think it's that heavy because, I mean, he's a baller. 6'1", right? 180. Guy's got the size, he's got the speed.
True.
I'd go watch the film, and that's something that as these guys commit, we're going to start having more, is showing more film on these guys throughout the shows, their huddles and whatnot, be able to show this is what these kids are able to do, right? This is what you're looking at. So now PJ Dean, it's tough. I think it's Ohio State for PJ, but we'll see. Obviously, anything can happen in a weekend. Anything, anything can happen. Travis Johnson, that's another guy, really, really strong wide receiver. You have a strong week with him, man. You have a strong weekend with him. You can make that move to be the number one team for him. You really can.
I think you can make that move.
Yeah, you really can. And as far as Amari goes, I mean, Amari Thomas, just make him think. Get him some things to think about. Just get him some things to think about. JB, I like JBQ. My thing is, I could see him staying in North Carolina, but they have to have a successful season this year to happen. They have to have some kind of promise showing off to the Bill Belichick era, right? Or over the NC State. They have to show some kind of promise for them for, JB to stay in state. If not, I think it's South Carolina, really. I think it is, but we'll see, obviously, as his recruitment goes on. Johnson and Acker, I mean, those guys, dude. If we could get Johnson from Birmingham, that'd be great, but I don't know if he leaves Starkville or Ole Miss, those areas right there. I don't think he's a take for Alabama. I don't think Auburn's looking at him yet. Potentially that could change, of course. And Acker from Iowa. I mean, look, man, that kid, yeah, he's a hard worker. That is absolutely somebody you want on this team, and that's somebody that can contribute once he develops. I think that's a guy that, he's going to run that same path as Xavier and can do some developing, but you can't coach speed. You can't coach speed and Q. This kid is quick. This kid is quick. And then, of course, Anthony Baxter already committed to South Carolina. What else needs to be said there out there in South Point, Current's teammates. So great stuff. Great stuff. It is a big weekend for South Carolina football, and it's going to be just a big month for South Carolina football in June as well. So stay tuned is what I would say, right? Stay tuned, because this is the calm before the storm, because things are about to get crazy here real soon.
It is. And I'm looking forward to it. And keep in mind, there's still 2 welcome homes out there. We're waiting on to hear from. So let's just kind of tune in. Let's see what happens.
Correct. And that is for 2027 and 2026. And we know that the 2027 commit is from South Carolina. And as Q and I have talked already the last few episodes, 2027 in the South Carolina class is stacked.
Yeah, stacked. That is a stacked class. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a stacked class.
Class. I don't know if you could argue saying it's not the best class in South Carolina, at least since the Gilmore years. In all, I'm telling you. I mean, think about it.
Everything's got to be production wise, so I got to see what production happens.
Sure.
To go back in classes and look, but it's gonna be up there. It's definitely gonna be top 5.
Yeah.
And for 100% gonna be top 5. No holds bar.
Yeah. The no ifs, ands, or buts about that, man. It absolutely will be. Well, Q, we're going ahead, man. We ran 45 minutes into the show, man. You have anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
No, let's see what this weekend has for us.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and obviously follow Q and I. Follow our Twitter over there at Believe in the WH Pod. That is at BLEAVINTHE WHPOD. That is Believe in the WH Pod for the Welcome On Podcast Twitter. And Q, we haven't talked about this yet. Before we wrap it up, we need to talk about we have been nominated for an award in Columbia.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Columbia, we have been nominated for the best local podcast from the Free Times in Best of Columbia in Columbia, South Carolina. So all the listeners, and there's a bunch of you, we see the numbers. We appreciate it so much. We absolutely
Bottom
do,
of our
man.
heart, man. Bottom of our heart.
Yeah. Because this is episode 198, and we would not be here without you guys. Truly. Facts. I mean, we would not be there.
It's facts.
I say it all the time. I know. I say it all the time, but it's facts. It's and Q, we are looking for sponsors for the upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
And we are looking, and you're going to get your traffic. If you got a small business, you're like, hey, I've got a small business, or if you got a bigger business and you still want to get, a little more traffic, we're the go-to South Carolina voice on the Believe Network. There is no if, ands, or buts about that. We are the South Carolina voice on the Believe Network. Facts. So you'll have your stuff heard. You'll have your stuff heard, and this is going to be a good season for South Carolina. We can feel it.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. That's facts.
That's coming. So it's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. Q, that the Cox by 90 Wing Challenge is coming up. I highly recommend fans to get out there for that. Get out there. Support the players. Obviously, you normally be able to meet some guys out there. I know Lenorse is out there last year supporting his teammates. So get out there if you can for that. That's going to be really cool. That's only 3 weeks away. That is Saturday, June 21st from 4 to 8, and that is benefiting the Garnet Trust. So some of the players that are in there,
weekend. It's going to be another big recruiting weekend.
Yes, big recruiting weekend. So you may want to stick around for that. Yeah. And then the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds are having another trading card show, and Jalen Kilgore, guys like that, Donovan Murph, Judge Collier, they've all said, hey, we're going to be out there signing autographs. And those are the guys that have so far said, hey, we're going to be out there. So you'll want to be out there for that, to be able to get these guys autographs, maybe talk to them a little bit. That's also a great event. I will be there for that as well, covering that. It's going to be a huge, just the biggest month in June for South Carolina athletics, man. It's about to be big, man.
I agree.
So stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. And then, final last thing before we wrap it up, Spencer Rattler, he has his football camp. He's got a football camp coming up, and that is going to be held out there in Columbia. That is going to be held at the Strom, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll want to get out there. Go ahead and sign up if you haven't signed up yet. Get your little one signed up. And that official date is July 1st from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., July 1st at the Strom over there. Tickets are available on his Instagram. Go there. You can sign up, and Q, I more than likely will be out there to get content on that, to get to see old Spencer and talk with him. So that is it, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in live at the Welcome H Pod on Facebook, X, YouTube. We appreciate you guys listening on Apple and Spotify. You can rate and review the show. Please rate and review. Please download the show, the Welcome On Podcast, on Apple and Spotify. Like I said, that's the only way that we can continue to to make these things shake and make it work. And, you know, we appreciate everybody here.
Download.
Download it up, man. Download it up. Guys, we will see you next time.
Peace.